Recently, new news about Resident Evil 4 Remake has been published, including the gameplay of the village and castle sections, the release date of the game demo, as well as a new Game Informer interview with the game directors Ampo and Kadoy and the directors. In this video, we discuss the release date of the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo as well as the most important talks of the two directors in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment and stay with me until the end of the video. It was just yesterday that a new gameplay of the parts of the castle, i.e. entering the castle, the scene of Leon and Ashley's first meeting with Salazar, and the very interesting gameplay of Garrador and the knife fight with Cruiser were released. I will definitely upload the new gameplay review video for you. Don't forget to like this video, comment and subscribe to the channel. Capcom will hold an event on March 9th, in which there is a 90% probability that the demo of Resident Evil 4 will be released, which will be released for all platforms, including PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S/X and PC, so wait for the demo of Resident Evil 4 in this event. As for the interview with the game directors, they talked more about the new mechanics they used in the Resident Evil remake. The directors first talked about the difficulty of making a remake and talked about Capcom's request to make this remake. The Resident Evil 4 remake team first played the original version of Resident Evil 4 and concluded that the best possible way to recreate this masterpiece is to improve the gameplay mechanics and graphics of the original game. That's why the game is modern and similar to the original version. The first thing that the directors decided was to improve the gameplay. At the very beginning of the game, the directors decide to completely remove QT from the game, because they think that this mechanic is not very popular nowadays. That's why they decide to completely change the knife fight with Krauser and change it to a knife combat, where you have to attack and defend with a knife. But the interesting thing is that this mechanic is first designed for the battle with Krauser, but eventually this mechanic becomes a main mechanic throughout the game. For example, with a knife, you have the ability to block the attacks of villagers and Dr. Salvador with a knife, and this is how the new parry mechanic is added for the first time in the history of the Resident Evil series. Just like the original version, Capcom has added a series of new mechanics to the remake, which is a very important point. One point that the directors mentioned is the various choices that allow the player to decide how to move the game forward. For example, you can advance the game stealthily, or if you want to advance the action by killing the Ganados. This makes the remake version very interesting and gives new experiences to the players, and also makes it worth repeating this game and the players can re-experience the game several times. The developers also said interesting things about the stealth system of the game, such as that the enemies of the game cannot attack you until they see you, and this gives you the decision to kill the enemies secretly or not. The bolt thrower weapon, which has just been added to the game, is silent and can help us a lot in killing enemies secretly. Other mechanics that have been worked on a lot are the very smooth movement of Leon around and the easier rotation of the camera around, which many people had problems with in the original game, and it seems to give a better experience to the remake version. Another interesting thing that is great. Ampo, the game director, said that one of the best features of the main game is the variety of the main game. Because in the original game, the player faces new enemies in every part of the original game or has to do different things, and they tried to keep and improve this feature in the remake. The remake version can be even more fun than the original version. But the most important point that the directors talked about was that it is not possible for the remake version to create a big revolution in the game industry like the original version, and their only goal for the remake of Resident Evil 4 is to improve the gameplay and graphics of the game, as well as improve the story of the original version. What do you think? Can the remake version make a revolution like the original version, or can it be the best game of the year? That's all the information about the game demo, as well as the information that the developers gave us about the mechanics of the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.